Hello everybody, the title of our paper is POSEFusion, Pose-Guided Selective Fusion for Single-View Human Volumetric Capture. Given a single-view RGBD sequence of a single performer, our goal is to reconstruct dynamic and high-fidelity human body, in both visible and invisible regions. The related work of single-view human volumetric capture could be classified into two categories. The first category is the tracking-based method. Tracking-based methods utilize a person-specific template or a continuously fused mesh as the reference model, and then deform it to fit with each live observation. These methods can reconstruct temporally coherent 4D sequences with plausible invisible details by integrating observation from other frames. However, due to the dependence on the reference model, these methods cannot handle topological changes and reconstruct natural deformations. Moreover, the integrated invisible details are usually static. The second branch is the tracking-free inference method. These methods can directly reconstruct faithful topological changes and natural deformations from only a single image. However, when applying a video input, they cannot guarantee temporal coherence, and the invisible surfaces are usually over-smoothed. It's easy to notice that these two kinds of methods are naturally complementary, and our goal is to combine them together, and inherit their advantages while avoiding the drawbacks. Our insight is that, given a current frame of a monocular RGBD sequence, topological changes and natural deformations in the visible regions could be faithfully reconstructed using tracking-free inference, and the invisible details could be integrated from other frames using tracking-based methods. Temporal coherence is also guaranteed by tracking the sequence frame by frame. Last but not least, we propose a pose-guided keyframe selection scheme to enable dynamic, high-fidelity and temporally continuous reconstruction in the invisible regions. We propose POSEFusion, a pose-guided selective fusion framework to realize dynamic and high-fidelity human volumetric capture. Before the pipeline, we utilize a parametric human model, simple, as the motion proxy to track the whole RGBD sequence. At the beginning of the pipeline, given a current RGBD frame, we sample valid points around the current simple, and then perform the pose-guided keyframe selection scheme to select appropriate keyframes that not only cover invisible regions but also share the similar pose with the current frame. Valid points around the current simple are then deformed to each keyframe by simple motion, and fed into a neural network with the corresponding RGBD image. The neural network infers occupancy values of each keyframe, and finally a complete model with high fidelity and pose-guided dynamic details is integrated by the implicit surface fusion procedure. Specifically, in the pose-guided keyframe selection, we jointly consider visibility complementarity and pose similarity. Firstly, we construct an energy matrix between the current frame and keyframe candidates using the two metrics. Compared with per-frame selection and greedy algorithm which suffer from temporal discontinuity and unreasonable invisible details respectively, we formulate this problem as a dynamic programming, and jointly solve a globally optimal keyframe trail to reconstruct temporally coherent and physically plausible invisible details. Here are several 4D sequences with dynamic and high-fidelity details reconstructed by our method. Compared with double fusion, our method can reconstruct dynamic and high-fidelity invisible details, and can handle topological changes and reconstruct natural deformations. Compared with text mesh, the geometric quality of our results is much higher. Compared with the tracking-free inference method, POSEFu, our method can guarantee temporal continuity and reconstruct dynamic and visible details. Please refer to our webpage for more information. Thanks for watching.